Blessed afternoon, everyone. I am Regeling Mitch M. Duran from BSCA 2G. So, I'll be talking about the glossary assessment that is given to us. And this exercise is designed to bridge the gap between our classroom discussions and the actual operation procedures that I have witnessed at the BOC NAIA, Tariff Commission, NMM Customs Broker, MSTSI, Subic, Good Manufacturing, and Peza Baguio. So now, I'll be talking about the regulatory and taxation that is related to the BOC NAIA and Tariff Commission. So CMTA or the RA 10863, it is the Customs Modernization Tariff Act, which is the main law governing import and export procedures, customs valuation, and tariff administration in the Philippines. The second one is the de minimis value. This is the three-sharehold value below which imported goods are exempt from duties and taxes. Currently, in the Philippines, there is amounting for a 10,000 pesos. The next one is the HS code, which it is a standardized numerical code used worldwide to classify traded products for tariff and statistical purposes. And AHTN, it is the ASEAN Harmonized Tariff Nomenclature, which is the ASEAN's versions of the HS code, which provide more detailed classification for member countries. And next is the tariff classification ruling, which is tackled to us in the Tariff Commission. The tariff classification ruling, it is the unofficial decision by the Tariff Commission or BOC on the correct tariff classification of a product. The next one is the lodgement, which is used as a submission or electronic submission of import documents into the customs system. Next one is selectivity system or the color lanes, which is known as the risk management system. There are five colors under these lanes, which is green for the inspection, which is used for clients that has no violation. And the second one is the yellow, which is needed for the document review. And for the red color, it is needed for the physical examination. Next word is physical examination. It is a manual inspection of goods by the customs officer. Next is the non-intrusive inspection or known as an X-ray. X-ray use machines to inspect cargo without opening containers. Next is the assessment of duties and taxes. It is the computation of payable import duties such as the VAT and the other charges that are needed to be paid. Next is the airway bill. It is a document issued by an airline serving as receipt and contract of carriage for air cargo. Next is abandoned goods. Abandoned goods, it is considered as the goods that are not claimed or processed within the prescribed period or time that are given to the seller or the importer, and it is forfeited to the government. Next one is the BOC port of entry. It is the official customs location where goods enter the country. Example of this is NAIA, Subic, Manila Port, and etc. Next is the Import Entry and Internal Revenue Declaration, or known as the IEIRD. It is an official declaration form detailing imported goods value and taxes. Next is Customs Appraiser. It is a officer responsible for determining the correct value and classification of imported goods. And the next one is the anti-dumping additional duty imposed on imported goods sold below fair market value to protect the local industries or local vendors. That's for under the first terms. Next is logistics and brokerage operations. which is we observes in the MSTSI SUBIC, which known as the unloading, loading of cargoes and packing for their goods that will be delivered to their client. First term under the logistic and brokerage operations is the declarant, which is this is the person or entity responsible for submitting document declarations. Usually, these are the broker or the importer. Next is the Incoterms 2020. It is the international trade rules defining the responsibilities of buyers and sellers. Example of this is CIF or the cost, insurance, and freight, or the FOB, which is free on board. Next term is the Bill of Lading or the BL. It is the shipping document that serves as receipt, contract, and proof of ownership of goods. Next term is the demurrage. It is a charge for leaving cargo in the port beyond the allowed free time. Next is detention, which is fee for holding containers outside the port beyond the agreed period. And the TEU, which is the 20-foot equivalent unit, it is a standard measurement for container capacity. And the stevedoring, it is the loading and unloading of cargo from ship. Next term is arrastre. It is the transfer of cargo from ship to dock or warehouse within the port. And next is the manifest, which is the list of all cargo carried on a vessel or aircraft. Next is freight forwarding. It is the service arranging shipment of goods from origin to destination. The supply chain visibility. It is the ability to track goods throughout the logistic process in real time. And the transshipment, it is a transfer of cargo from one vessel to another en route to its destination. The less than container load, it is the shipment that shares container space with other cargo. And otherwise, the full container load is the shipment that occupies an entire container. Next is chassis or chassis. It is a trailer used to transport containers by land. Next is the port through output, which is the total volume of cargo handled by a port over a period. Next one is the free port zone, which is under the SUBIC context, and it is a designated area with tax incentives and simplified customs procedures. That's for the logistics and brokerage operations. Let's proceed to the next terms, which is the under of the special economic zone and an incentive which we observe under the PEZA Baguio. The first term under this special economic zone and incentive is the eco zone or the economic zone. It is a designated area with incentives to attract investor and exporter. Next is the income tax holiday, which means temporary exemption from corporate income tax for registered enterprises. And the cross-border trade, it is the movement of goods between the countries. And the indirect export, it is a selling goods to an exporter or PESA firm that will export them. And the zero rated VAT, which is the VAT rate of 0% applied to export sales and certain transactions. The customs territory, which is the areas where regular customs laws and taxes apply. And the admission, which means into economic zone, it is the entry of goods into an economic zone, often duty-free. And the PESA Gate Pass, it is a document authorizing movements of goods into or out of the ecozone. And the next one is the constructive exportation. It is a goods treated as exported, even if physically within the Philippines. The Certificate of Origin or the CO, it is a document certifying where goods were produced used for tariff preferences. And the surety bond, it is a financial guarantee ensuring compliance with customs or PESA regulations. For the last term, we have the operations and quality standard, which is we observe under the good manufacturing leather in the Philippines. So the GMP or the good manufacturing practice, it is a standard ensuring products that are consistently produced and controlled for quality. Next is the quality assurance or the QA, which is it is a systematic processes to ensure quality standards are met. And next is the quality control or the QC, which is testing and inspection of products to detect defects. And then next is the lead time, which is the total time from order placement to delivery. Next is inventory management, which is the process of controlling stock levels to meet demand efficiently. Next term is the just in time or GIT. It is a strategy where material arrive only when needed to reduce inventory cost. That's for the operations and quality standards under the goods manufacturing. So in summary, these terms collectively shows how international trade works end to end. Under the regulation terms or the B under the regulation terms that we observe in the Bureau of Customs and Tariff Commission, it ensures the compliance and taxation. And then the logistics and brokerage, it handles the movements of goods. And under the economic zone, which is we observe in PESA, it provides incentive for exporters, such as 0% rate for exportation. And the last one, the operations or the goods manufacturing practices or procedures, it ensures the product quality and efficiency. That's all for the glossary assessment that given to us. Thank you.